Hey, what's up everybody? The Crap Gamer here, the most compelling game-related YouTuber, and you damn well know it. I got a very special guest with me, the Mooch78. And Mooch, you're hosting Big Gamer Small Talk later today on your channel at 8 p.m. Eastern. Thanks for taking time out to do a video with me. What's going on, man?
Well, I appreciate you asking me to come on, and it's going to be a second great honor to host BGST, the best podcast on the internet, as you all know it. But we're here to talk about something that's near and dear to my heart, which is the NPD. And it's not the sales crap. We both agree with this, right? It's not about the sales. It's about why isn't the American public seeing what we're seeing? And I think what a lot of people don't understand is that the reason I do my videos, I think the reason that you began doing your videos and continue to do your videos, is we're trying to get the truth out there. And it is hard, no matter how many subs we get, we're trying to get the word across against the media. The media is in sort of damage that I don't know if it's ever reversible, but we're sure going to try.
Oh, you know what? I 100% agree. And, like, you know what? A lot of people will be like, well, this is damage control or whatever. It's not damage control because, you know, if it was damage control, I probably would have done it the first day when it came out. Like, for me, I just been busy playing Halo. You know, I'm getting ready for Halo 5 to come out. You know, I have Forza 6 coming to me on Tuesday. I'm excited about that. But some of the more interesting parts about the NPDs is the fact that the PS4 outsold the Xbox One only by 7,000 units. So it's not exactly like it lit up the sky, you know what I mean? It's 7,000 is pretty negligible. And another thing is Madden NFL 16 was #1, and it did sell better on PS4, but the interesting part about that is Sony was giving away free copies of Madden with PS4 purchases, which count on the NPD. Microsoft was giving away a digital copy with the Xbox Ones that they were selling, which aren't actually counted on NPD. So that could go to show the kind of differential right there. Also in the top 3, Gears of War Ultimate Edition #3 was strong sales, and at #6 Rare Replay, both beating Until Dawn, the PS4 cheesy horror game. The thing that's kind of holding back the industry is sitting at #5, Lego Jurassic World sold the best on Xbox 360, and then you look at #8, Call of Duty Black Ops Combo Pack selling the best on 360. Minecraft, #2, selling best on 360. So the Xbox 360 has 3 #1s in here, and people wonder why we say that these 360 people need to upgrade their consoles. You know what I mean? It's hurting the industry. It's hurting the Xbox One. The 360 is a hell of a machine, and obviously with it having 3 in the top 10, it's telling you a lot. I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think you nailed it at the end. I was going to speak on a few of the first things you said, but maybe we'll get that in a minute. I really think that first and foremost, everybody that's listening to this podcast that happens to only own a 360 or a PS3, that you're still in last gen, you really have to step up to the plate. You have to purchase a new console. I have many coworkers of mine that are still holding on to the 360, and the answer I keep getting from them all the time is, well, I don't see any reason to upgrade. I'm playing GTA 5, I'm playing Call of Duty. You know, more of those bro gamer type of games, and you know, I don't like to categorize that, because whatever you like is what you like. There's not one exact, you know, there's not one genre that's better than any other. It's personal preference. But what I said to him, I said was, my God, I said, there's a ton of people all over online today, all got up at 3 a.m. on the East Coast to order their iPhone 6S. Because it's the latest and greatest. Now, you don't have to be that hog wild, but don't you want to have the better graphics, the better capabilities, the better features? And Microsoft's giving you backwards compatibility. Now, taking that and going a step further, crap, this is my personal opinion. I think Microsoft has to cut the umbilical cord on 360.
Yeah.
I think they have to cut it, and I know it's a cash cow for them. And that's why they don't seem to care so much. That's why they're on Easy Street up in Redmond. It's because they're really double dipping right now, and that's great for them. So they're probably going to take this idea I got and, you know, flush it down the toilet, because they're making money. But in order to see their future bright, they've got to cut the gloom of last gen. Stop with the Tomb Raiders on 360. Stop with the Call of Duty on 360. Stop with all this stuff, and let's just move forward. This hasn't happened in any other generation. You know, when the SNES came out, it wasn't, you could get the new Super Mario Brothers on both. You know, it was like, you either buy this or see you later. Yeah. You know, and I mean, that's kind of what Donnie upgrade. That's what Donnie Matrick was saying, right? Yeah. Crap. I mean, I got a console for you if you don't want to upgrade. Stay on the 360. Like, I think Phil's got to pull the plug on 360. He's got to do it more gently than I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But that's
well. Did you see
the next thing? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
They're cutting the support for like the indie stuff and all that stuff. Like you're not going to be able to submit new games for the arcade and indies and stuff like that. That ends next year. So they're definitely kind of slowing down. I don't think they're ever going to cut like the online portion of it, but I think they should probably cut making new games for it. That's the smart thing.
Right.
10 years, I mean, that's a hell of a console, you know what I mean? That's a hell of a run, but time to move on and move forward, because the Xbox One, like I just did a video today, the word's out on DirectX 12, 20% increase on GPU, 50% on the CPU. That's incredible, because the CPU was already way more powerful than the PS4s, and the GPU was less than 20% behind. So you're looking at, if people use full DirectX 12 on Xbox One, the most powerful console, next-gen console, that is it. You know, there's no more bullshit around, because this is exactly backing up what Brad Wardell was saying, and I think that people are going to really kind of take notice of this, especially next year. You're going to have these developers like DICE. They want to implement DirectX 12 as the standard, and I think that that's going to, you know, that's the future. Xbox One is the future, and, you know, Xbox 360 is a past great console for what it was, but you know what? You can still play some of those. They have backwards compatibility. You know what I mean? Stop with the just plain 360 stuff. It's time to upgrade. There's no way that 3 of the top 10 on the NPDs should be 360 games. You know what I mean? I think that's absolutely ridiculous. And the American public as a whole, I'm completely disappointed, because they're buying into mediocrity, and for some reason it doesn't really surprise me, because you look at the political thing, and I'm not going to get real political, but the whole thing's a mess. People running, they're all a mess. The people in office, it's all a mess. People just vote for sheep, the cool thing or whatever. That's why we're in the mess we're in right now as a country, is because people voted for the quote-unquote cool thing or the hip thing. They wanted to make history or whatever, you know what I mean? It's just unfortunate. And you know, like the same thing with this whole PS4 thing. I don't get it.
Well, crap. You know, when I go to GameStop now, I used to just stand next to somebody who's making a purchasing decision, and every once and again I would say something. You know, of course, Pro Xbox. I stopped doing that recently. Now what I said to them was, I said, do me a favor. I said, make the purchase based on your gut. Don't make it on what that person said is cool or what I said is cool. If you don't feel like when you're actually going to take that thing home, you're actually going to use it as a... Because don't forget, the whole pitch back with the PS4 was, this is a pure, honest-to-God gaming station. But it's anything but. And that's the thing. There's nothing coming out for it. The software on it is so old. It's old. Look, they made it faster. You know why they made it faster? There's nothing on it. It doesn't snap. It doesn't take voice commands. It doesn't do anything. And I listened to Larry Herb, Major Nelson's latest podcast when he had Mike Ibarra on. We're talking about 50 to 60% faster on almost 8 out of 10 of the features we use, you know, on a daily basis, snapping, etc. And let's just get back to the NPD for a second. Look, I got into some great. Usually, there's a lot of bad, negative Twitter discussions I get into around NPD, but today was actually pretty good. There was a guy that hit me up. We went back and forth. I know a lot of people were reading it, and basically, I told the guy this. I said, listen, I said, I'm not going to go into the slander and bashing, but I said, when you're talking about 7,000 units over the course of, you know, North America, United States sales. Don't, you know, look, that's only a victory by technicality. Okay, that's a wash. You know, 7,000 units at this point, you can't. And listen, I'll tell you something. And there was a guy on your community podcast that said something that was interesting. The Sony guys aren't coming at me with the NPD like they used to, because they're kind of bored. You win by 7,000 units. That doesn't do any more for your enjoyment. Yeah. You know, like I was on Twitter tonight, and I was just talking to a couple guys that we all hang out with, Crap. And we were all talking. We're like, what are we jamming on later tonight? I said, well, I'll be honest with you. I'm cracking open Metal Gear Solid tonight, so I'm going to get that started for about an hour and a half, because I heard the intro is quite a while. So I'm going to get that started. But then we're like, are we going to do, you know, are we doing Halo? Are we doing Titanfall? Are we doing Borderlands? What are we doing on a, you know, four guys go out, jam. We usually bullshit about everything from sports to games and have a good time. And that's the opportunity you have. I understand Borderlands is on all, but you don't have the community. There's no community on the PlayStation. And don't tell me no, there isn't, because the people that I say that I know that are on PS4, I'm like, well, who do you hang out with? They're like, oh no, and I just kind of jam out myself, or I just play the computer in Madden or something. Yeah. And that's my point. It's just, it's a lonely station.
It is. It's the lonely station 4, and it's you know, and it's basically selling on, I don't know what, on something, I don't know, just pop. I guess the original hype or whatever. That's something that happens a lot. A lot of things are popular due to hype, and it's unfortunate. I am a little bit disappointed because every time that people support this thing and it wins an NPD on a month where Sony didn't do they didn't do a Gamescom, they didn't do much for E3, they didn't come out with new games, they have nothing big or AAA this holiday, but they continue to win. And each time that happens, if I'm Sony, am I going, hey, we better go ahead and spend more money and make more games? No, I'm saying, hey, let's go ahead and just let these suckers spend their hard-earned money on our product that doesn't have any support. You know what I mean? And that's exactly what why wouldn't you? You know what I mean? If you're Sony, what do you have to do? I wouldn't lower the price. People are like, expect a price drop. Why the hell would you drop a price? You're sitting there, you're selling it to suckers.
Let's put it in layman's terms for people. Anyone that's listening to this saying, what the hell's the deal with Crap and Mooch constantly damage controlling? Let me put it in layman's terms. We've all been in this situation. You've been out to a diner and you've had a waitress and she's just not good. She's terrible. Your coffee's cold. She's not refilling it. The bacon's not coming out when you ordered it with your breakfast. But at the end of the meal, all you keep saying to you and your wife or you and your girlfriend, you're like, you know what, this woman has a lot of kids, whatever, let's just tip her big. We'll tip her big. She's working her ass off, whatever, we'll tip her big. And you keep tipping her. And you keep tipping her. And every Sunday you go back and it's the same thing. Cold coffee, no refills, your food doesn't come out right, this and that. There's constant mistakes, but you keep tipping her. That's Sony. Meanwhile, you look over and you see this other girl who's busting her ass and she's only getting a $1.50 tip because she keeps getting the cheap tables. Yeah. My point is this. If you want to make a change, okay, you either have to say something to management at that diner and get that girl fired, or stop tipping her so much that she actually starts busting her ass. And that's the thing. If you're going to continue to tip Sony big, then continue to get what you're being fed, and that's nothing. You're not getting anything down the pipe. You have nothing to look forward to.
You're getting the pipe.
2016.
You're getting the pipe. Yeah, you're getting the pipe when you support Sony. All right, this is about does it for this video. Check out Big Gamer Small Talk tonight. I know football's on everything, but you're still going to watch tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. Thanks, Mooch, for joining, man. The Mooch78, I'm going to make sure to link this stuff. Thanks for helping out, Mooch, and we'll catch you guys tonight on Mooch's channel. Rack 'em up.
8 o'clock.
Later.
Good night.